Have you ever sensed your potential for greatness, but feel like your current life falls short of that vision?
Throughout my college career, I was a track and field athlete. I ran the 800, won a couple of SEC championships, national championship. I moved to New York to actually pursue a professional track and field career. I was up there for about 2 or 3 years with the international trading group. I traded athletes from Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, all over the world.
What does a career in track and field look like? Had you envisioned was that life was going to be like?
Being kind of like a rock star. I thought it was going to be the idea of just going from city to city, racing, getting to wear the Nike kit, Adidas kit or whatever, being that fast guy on the track, and, making money. But unfortunately, got older, got injured.
That's Leoman Momoh. When his international track and field career came to a screeching halt, he found himself underemployed, working a soulless customer service job in defined benefits.
From going from a world of track and field, celebrity lifestyle, people know your name, they know your stats, you're traveling, you're running against other people.
Yeah.
And now you're doing benefits?
Yeah, it was kind
of what was that like?
It was very hard.
Never accepting defeat, Leoman staged his comeback by breaking into data science in just 3 months, and then he hustled his way to the top. If you, like Leoman, know you're destined for greatness, watch this episode until the end.
Been rapping a little bit about our stories, and there's some similarities there. Coming out of high school at like a 2.0 GPA, me I was a 1.9. We was trash students, but somehow successful in life, right. Which is why I want to talk to you right now, because you are a senior data engineer, which I suspect people listening don't even know what that is. You always say your mom don't know what it is.
She thinks I play on the computer all day.
Playing on the computer all day. But I mean, if you look up what data engineers do, it's a very technical job. But if you look up what they make, like you're seeing, these people are that's a hot job. So we want to get to that and talk about that. But I think maybe just tell us a little bit of your background of like what you were doing in college, what you studied, what you did after college. Give us a little bit of a understanding of what you were doing.
Yeah, so, throughout my college career, I was an athlete, track and field athlete. I ran the 800, won a couple of SEC championships, national championships. And then after college, I was studying economics, but I wasn't that serious.
Yeah. Okay.
My mind was all about track and field. But once I graduated with my economics degree, I moved to New York to actually pursue a professional track and field career. So there, I was up there for about 2 or 3 years with the international trading group. Traded athletes from Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, all over the world, and just got a chance to really see what I could do in the track and field space. Made it to world championships, but after a while, I decided to leave that world behind and try to enter the workforce.
Okay, so the track and field thing. What does a career in track and field look like? Had you envisioned was that life was going to be like?
Just being kind of like a rock star. I thought it was going to be the idea of just going from city to city, racing other fast people. Getting to wear the Nike kit, the Adidas kit or whatever, squad you're with, and just, being that fast guy on the track and, making money. But unfortunately, it was like that for a little while, but, got older, got injured, and decided to leave that behind.
Okay.
Then I moved into the career I was in before tech, which was benefits. Okay. So I was working for a benefits company called Aon Hewitt. There I was pretty much just customer service.
How did you get into Aon Hewitt to begin with?
I just applied.
It was just applied.
I found a job. I needed a job. Living in the Woodlands at the time.
Okay.
So Aon was literally across the street from my house.
Yeah.
So I saw the job opening online, applied, and got the job.
Was that using your degree at all, or was it just like anybody could do that?
Anybody could do it, honestly. Okay. It was just a customer service role.
Yeah.
I was just read the script, and then that was it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you studied, was it finance you studied?
Economics.
Economics. Had you not thought about like careers in econ or like?
No, I took the econ degree just to get a degree, honestly.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay eligible for track and field, and that was kind of what my main focus was. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed some of my classes, but I really had that dream of running in the Olympics.
Yeah, okay. Because econ is not the easiest major.
No, it's not. But I think it was probably one of the easier ones for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
will allow you to focus on what you're really passionate about.
Exactly.
So you got this job. You said benefits. What does that mean?
It's pretty much helping people take their retirement funds.
Yeah,
so
okay.
like a lot of these old companies have pension plans.
Yeah.
And what we would do is prepare different paperwork and let them know, like, hey, this is how much your benefit is. This is how you can take it, whether it be an annuity or a lump sum.
Yeah.
And then they make that election, and then we would send them a check in the mail.
Yeah. Okay. It feels like, I mean, I don't know much about you. I'm about to learn about you.
Yeah.
But it feels like from going from a world of track and field, you know, kind of almost like, like celebrity lifestyle. People know your name, they know your stats. You're traveling, you're running against other people.
Yeah.
And now you're doing benefits?
Yeah, it was kind
Like,
of
what was that like?
It was very humbling. I'll be honest. It was like, you know, I just didn't feel happy doing it. I didn't feel accomplished. I didn't feel like what I was doing mattered.
Yeah.
You know, when you're racing, you're especially for a team like Arkansas, which, you know, we won like 40 national championships. You know, every race mattered to get to that team goal.
Yeah.
And when I was, you know, just working as a call center, I just felt like a cog in the machine.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel like anything I did was just meaningful. It was just spitting out paperwork.
Just spitting out paperwork.
Answering questions.
Yeah, that's what immediately jumps out to me is like being in something that's so electric, and especially with like the team vibe and the way you connect, and then you're in this thing where it's like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, and you seeing your teammates grow and get accomplished. I mean, the people at my benefits job, they sat there for 20, 40 years. They were happy just being content.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're around people like that, you kind of have that same mindset. I always feel like the people around you either make you or break you.
Yeah. So how long did you do the benefits work?
I think it was about a year and maybe 2 months.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't last long.
It didn't last long.
But yeah, I think in that first year I realized I was like, nah, this
ain't it.
This can't be the rest of my life. You know? It was almost like I was.
If you've been watching my videos, there's a good chance that you're in your late 20s, your 30s, or your early 40s, and you're thinking about changing careers. I've spoken with many of you, and I know what your problems are. You're uncertain about tech career paths, you lack technical skills, you have concerns about the cost of re-educating, you lack the professional network, and you lack mentorship. Well, there are many tech boot camps that could get you into tech pretty quickly. My personal favorite is Springboard. If you think that's the right pathway for you, use the link provided and get $1,000 off your tuition. But that's not the only pathway into tech. Did you know that you can break into tech for 1/10 the cost of a boot camp? The majority of what you'll learn in a boot camp can be easily learned online for free or at minimal cost. Seriously, people are securing entry-level tech positions every day, all without the burden of a costly CS degree or a full-time bootcamp commitment. My personal mission is to give you the resources that you need to break into a tech career in the shortest amount of time with the smallest possible financial burden. If that sounds like something you're interested in, download my free How to Shift into Tech guide. With that guide, you can start learning and begin your journey into tech all by yourself. And if you need additional help, I've got a range of support options available to help you launch your tech career.
I would wake up at night and be like, who am I? What am I doing? It's like an identity crisis in a way. Because you just wake up every day doing the same thing, having these people talk to you crazy on the phone.
On the phones. People are rude, huh?
Yeah, extremely. Extremely rude. You would have people, it was like, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
I'm here to get you your money. And, you know, they would just be extremely rude. But I just knew that wasn't something I wanted to do.
For a lot of companies like that, they often kind of make those customer service roles feeder roles to some of the other more sophisticated roles that require a degree. Had you thought about like moving up there, or was it an immediate like, I got to get out of here?
It was immediate.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't do it because even the trajectory they had for someone in the role I was in, it didn't appease me, or it didn't intrigue me at all. It didn't seem like that would be fulfilling for me because it was just, you know, being a team lead, of which was just managing people that did what I did.
Yeah.
And then even there as a manager, and then after that, that's it.
Yeah.
pension is such a small part of benefits that there isn't really much.
Not much.
Yeah. So
No upward mobility in that
not
space
much.
at all.
Maybe 2 or 3 roles, and that's it.
So what did you do? What did you decide? Like, you're like, I'm out, I'm leaving.
I think I started looking at, okay, what if I was going to switch to anything, what would I switch to?
Okay.
So saw programming. I think I was.
So was it like just like a Google search? You start like looking up like.
I think deep down I always wanted to be in the tech.
Okay.
I think I loved movies like The Matrix or Swordfish or all those movies where there was like this cool hacker person in front of a computer just going in, and I was like, all right, let's see what programming is. And then I tried to find, I learned about C#, Java, all those other programming languages, and then I found Python.
Okay.
And then once I found Python, I saw that, data science was this hot new term that everyone was talking about. It's buzzwords, excuse me. Once I heard that, I was like, all right, well, let me see, what is data science?
Yeah.
And it kind of took me down the rabbit hole of finding like, okay, what skills do data scientists need? What does it include? Data wrangling, what is that?
Yeah.
What's PCA? What's all these terms that are under this umbrella of data science, like just starting to learn about those. And then when I said, I finally made a decision one day, I was like, I need to come up with a plan. So I saved up about 6 months' salary, or 6 months worth of expenses, to prepare myself to make that jump.
Yeah.
So saved my expenses. Then I tried to find a way to start learning. So I looked at different boot camps. I found Springboard, which I think that's how you found me originally.
Yeah.
And once I found Springboard, I looked at the whole program in its entirety. Like, they had 2 capstone projects, which I thought were great because it gave me the opportunity to really test my skills and show my skills.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then I also saw they had a job guarantee.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing too, because, $5,000 isn't easy.
And
that's how much the boot camp cost.
It was $5,000?
$5,000.
Okay.
$5,000. So God kind of looked out because I had a car and I got in a wreck.
Yeah.
But I got exactly $5,000 as back for my car. So I put that $5,000 towards the boot camp, and I had a car that I just bought for cash.
Yeah.
And I used that to Uber.
Yeah. Okay.
While I was studying in the boot camp. But
so take me through this really quickly. So you kind of always had an interest in tech, but how did you know, like, okay, this is going to be the right move for me? Because I think a lot of people might look and say, okay, yeah, there's going to be a cost to transition.
Yeah.
But how do you know, like, okay, this is the thing that I want to do? Like, how do you get that assurance that this is going to be the right thing?
Honestly, I didn't have it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I had to make a decision did I want this to be the rest of my life?
Yeah. Okay.
And I think when I asked myself that question, it made the decision easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I knew that I didn't want this to be, but I didn't want to just, neglect the unknown. So I was willing to go in the unknown to figure out if this was going to work. So that's how I came to that.
And then how did you formulate that plan? Because you said you saved up like 6 months expenses because you knew it was going to be something you need to dedicate yourself to. How did you create that plan?
I think it was a plan that kind of formed a little bit over time. I always try to save and, obviously have some kind of savings plan for rainy days and stuff. But I started by saying, okay, well, I know the boot camp is going to take 6 months, right? So I need to have at least that much of expenses to saved away in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I said, all right, well, I don't want to just be completely broke. Let me make sure I have some kind of income. Even though it's not a lot, I'm willing to sacrifice. And so I decided I'm going to Uber drive and just have these expenses, paid from my savings account. So that's kind of how I came up with the plan. And then after that, it was just execute. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
How did you know Springboard was going to be the right boot camp for you?
Two real things. One was that there was a mentorship program. Because
Okay.
Coming from an athletics background, I need like that coach.
Yeah.
To say like, hey, you should try and do things this way, or, maybe think about it a little bit differently. And, that was one major reason why Springboard was the right decision. And then the second one was just the 2 capstone projects.
Yeah.
Because I wanted a way to say, like, I can apply these skills. I'm someone who learns by doing.
Yeah.
And I can't just read a book and just get it. Like, it doesn't stick here.
Yeah.
What sticks is me applying it, saying, like, making some mistakes, having somebody look and say, like, okay, well, you could have done this better, and then doing that next time. So iterating.
Iterate on it. Yeah. So what was it like going through like the boot camp? Like what was like a day like?
I mean, if I'm being honest, so the first thing I do is I wake up in the morning, probably do a little bit of Uber driving, take people to work and stuff like that. Then I would start doing my boot camp training.
And so this is like at home.
At home.
So you didn't have to actually physically go somewhere.
No, I had to be very like disciplined.
So you had to create the structure for yourself.
I had to create that structure. And it wasn't that hard, right? Because, I came from an athletic background.
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to kind of get in that mode of like, I'm training again.
Yeah.
Wake up, do a little bit of driving, come home, study all day.
Yeah.
Like they had these modules that you had to go through Datacamp. Datacamp was another platform.
Oh, so Springboard uses Datacamp.
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly. So they use Datacamp to help you learn, like, how to clean data, how to bring in files from CSVs, do database access, stuff like that, data manipulation, transformations, all that kind of stuff. So I was going through those modules one after the other. I would probably spend like at least 4 hours, 5 hours straight just doing it. Yeah. Maybe send a couple of emails to my mentor asking different questions. And they respond when they can. And that was just a day in the life. And then after that, maybe 4 or 5 hours, I'd go Uber drive again and then come back in the evenings, maybe cook, and then go back to it.
Yeah. This is basically the full-time.
That was it.
Full-time thing.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit, because people listening might not know what Datacamp is,
Mm-hmm.
like, can you tell us a little bit more about what that is and what you were training on?
Yeah, so Datacamp is a platform that teaches you how to program using Python or SQL or whatever languages that you may be interested in. It's mainly geared towards like data intensive programming. There's not so much as like UI, UX and stuff like that, but all like data heavy crunching type of stuff. It's a paid subscription, so you do have to pay something, but I think it's very good for people who are just getting started.
So what's the difference then? Why do the boot camp if you can do this online?
The major thing was, again, the 2 capstone projects and the mentorship.
Okay.
Because I feel like when I was looking at data science, there was so much information.
Yeah.
And you can get lost in it because it's just like you're hearing all these new buzzwords, but you need foundation, like you're building any house. So you need to understand the basics and then work your way up.
Yeah, okay.
So having that mentor really helped me key in on what I should learn, how I should think, what a data scientist thinks like, stuff like that. So.
What did you find yourself like leaning on the mentor for?
How, what to learn and just what really what it would take to be a good data scientist. Okay. How to think, how to go through a process of evaluating a problem.
Yeah.
Even how you would work with different shareholders and explaining the need for certain things, because I think one thing people miss when they talk about data science is the customer service aspect of it. Because even now in the position that I'm in right now, my customers are internal.
Okay.
So they may ask you a question, and they may want something, but it's not actually what they want. You kind of have to talk and have this back and forth and this relationship with them to understand, well, you may want this, right? But there's a better way of going around it.
Okay. So it's like you're learning the technical skills, but then you still need to figure out how do you, I suppose, respond to requests? How do you work with people to understand what their real need is, why they need it? So does the boot camp give you that kind of skill? Do they do that kind of stuff?
No, not so much, and that's why I felt like my mentor was great.
So the mentor helped you with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that idea of learning how to talk and build that relationship with your customers, because once you find those gold nuggets or those opportunities, that's when it really becomes a beautiful relationship. Yeah. Because you can kind of see what they're aiming for and see what their goal is, and that way you can iterate on it faster and help potentially get there faster. So. Was picking up the skills, was it natural for you? Because I think with an econ background, like you already had, I mean, econ is quite a bit of calculus as well, right? So you kind of had some math skills there, obviously. You had some knowledge of this going in. Was it normal for you to grab these data skills, or did you feel like you were in a foreign world? I definitely felt like I was in a foreign world, but I kind of just had to pivot my skills because when it comes to collaboration, I had a coach. So me and him would work about workout plan and stuff like that, and just rap about different things.
Yeah.
And I think when I learned to use those skills that I developed with my coach to like my customers, that's when it kind of made sense, or it started to click. It was like a aha moment. And even with some of the mathematical skills that I had developed in my econ degree, it was just kind of changing it. It's just having a different perspective a little bit. And once I did that, that's when things started to open up a little bit.
So what do you think was the most challenging part of going? Because how many months were you doing this full time?
Yeah, I was doing this, so it's a 6-month boot camp, but I finished it in 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when I tell you I was all day, it was all day, man. Like I'm not joking.
So that's interesting. Yeah. It's a 6-month boot camp that I'm gonna say that's probably not typical.
No, it's not. And I asked Springboard about this. I said, so if I finish the boot camp early, can I get some money back?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you can. So I had them get $2,000 back. That was an incentive.
You was hustling.
Yeah.
You was hustling.
Hey, man, you got to. You got to, man. You have to. You have to keep going. And I was just making every opportunity I could.
It's funny, track and field background, like you're sprinting through this thing, like you're like running, you're on a mission.
Yes,
it feels like. Mm-hmm. How what was it like? Like, how were you able to have such clear determination that I'm gonna run through this thing, I'm gonna dedicate my days to this? Was that like some of your athletics background coming in, of like how you train for something, mm-hmm. how you get something done?
Yes, absolutely. It was that. I mean, if anybody who knew me when I was running, man, I was a training nut. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed competing, and I think a lot of it was just me trying to prove to myself that I could do this.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot of people who step into a new situation may have like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I had that too. But I think that's what drove me. It drove me to prove that I could do this. What
was that like? And I'm sitting here and I'm like you're a tall, well built dude. Like, that's something you don't really hear often. It's like, I had imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I mean, it was very. I had a lot of anxiety about it, honestly. Like,
okay.
I think it was just that, you're around people who have PhDs, and you have people who have their masters, and you have people who, been in the industry for years, and me, I'm just coming in, and I'm like, I got a boot camp certification, so I don't think they want to hear from me. But I think once I kind of talked to had that internal talk with myself and say, hey, at the end of the day, you know what you're doing. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if these people have 10 years or 5 years, you have something to contribute. Yeah. And I think I just focused on that. Yeah. On what value I could add and what I can contribute to the team. So
that's what's up. So 6-month boot camp in 3 months. They hand you some money back as well.
Yeah. I was happy about that. Let me say.
What do you think? What do you think was like the highlight of that experience?
I think it was, the highlight was just finishing it.
Finishing it.
Yeah, I think getting through my 2 capstone projects, doing well on them too.
Yeah.
Writing a white paper and just finally feeling, I guess, validated that, the work that I was doing was paying off, and getting that certification was just icing on the cake, man.
Yeah.
You never know in those situations if it's going to work out. And at that point, it did. My plan worked out, thank God, and I was on my way to try to find a job.
Yeah. So what was the most challenging or the lowest point of going through the boot camp experience?
I mean, I think it was directly after just applying.
Yeah.
Because I tried to apply to a bunch of different jobs, and I got a lot of no's.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of no's, and that was really challenging because it's like, man, I've done this. I've done the work. People around me, my mentor says I'm good. I should be okay. I have the skills. Like, I have a GitHub with all my code. That shows what I can do. I just need a chance.
Yeah.
And just hearing no was tough. But I mean, once you get your first break, all those no's don't matter.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
How long were you searching?
So I wasn't actually searching. I was about maybe 6 weeks.
Okay.
6 weeks.
So not too long.
Not too long, but
Yeah.
definitely it was long when you don't have like
Yeah.
your job because
You don't have a job.
right.
Were
I
you
mean,
still doing Uber at the
I
time?
was still doing Uber. And, you make a little bit of money doing Uber, but it's not enough to feel happy with.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So 3 months in, 6 weeks of searching, you get an offer.
Right.
Tell us what that was like.
It was probably the best feeling I had all year, just getting that first offer and feeling validated, like, yes, I am it. I'm
Yeah.
in, because like I said before, I had a lot of anxiety about like, man, is this going to pay off?
Yeah.
Because you can make a decision and go for it and not work out.
Yeah.
But I think when I saw that first offer and I negotiated.
You did.
Yeah, I negotiated too. 'Cause I was like, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get it.
You weren't afraid of losing the offer?
I mean, I think my thought process was like, I'd rather go in or go home. Go home. And as you can see, I take some risks.
Yeah,
I take calculated risks.
Yeah.
So, when I negotiated, they were willing to meet me halfway, and it worked out.
So you had an idea then of what you were worth,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like. Obviously you have the boot camp behind you, you have the capstones behind you, but you don't have any professional experience in this space. So how did you work out what your worth was going to be?
I just looked at the skills and the skills that were needed for the job.
Yeah.
And, companies, I'm not saying that they're going to lowball you or anything, but what I'm saying is that you know how much your skills are worth on the market.
Yeah.
And you can use Glassdoor, you can use all these variety of websites to say like, okay, I have this skill set. What is that worth on the market? And then go from there.
Yeah. So what was your first job? Like, what was it? Was it data engineer or was it something different? Or
so I was a OTA data analyst, which is optimization, technology, and automation.
Okay.
Which, in a nutshell, is I just wrote Python scripts or automated different tasks using whatever means necessary.
Okay.
So it was a fun job. I got a lot of free reign.
Yeah.
To explore, to innovate, and I think that was a great first role for me.
Yeah.
Because it allowed me to know what other technologies were out there. At the time, I wasn't really familiar with BI tools, so I got an opportunity to work with Power BI, Alteryx.
Yeah.
What else is out there? Spotfire.
Yeah.
Do a lot of things with Python scripts for the first time, actually creating executables for other people's and stuff like that. So it was a role that I grew a lot in.
Was it what you thought it was going to be? Because like there can be that picture in your mind of like, all right, I'm doing this benefits job. It's data. It's not going to go anywhere. Oh, data engineering, data science. Like that's a thing that looks like I would enjoy doing. Did it match your expectations of what you thought after getting the job?
I would say yes, because I knew there was going to be a lot of data wrangling, data cleaning, making different reports, visualizations, things like that. But, it definitely met my expectation.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You said it met your expectations. It's what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Can you give us a picture of how your financial situation changed from benefits to kind of now you're working in data? Like what? Were you at like 20, 30 and then you double that, you triple that? Like what?
I would say I was probably early, like mid 40s, and then I want to say more than tripled. Yeah.
Like with the one job move.
Well, that was just, I wouldn't say it was the one job move, but where I was and where I am now.
Where you are now.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to do that?
So I did the boot camp in 2018, I think. And then 2019, I got my first job. So from 2019 to now, it was like 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
Very, very thankful, because, it definitely could have went some other way.
Did the people around you, did they have similar experiences like the other people you went to boot camp with? Like,
so I didn't actually meet a lot of people in my boot
oh,
camp.
okay, so you weren't like connected like
No, I mean, I know they have cohorts and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but if I'm being honest, and this is nothing at Springboard whatsoever, but I just didn't really feel that that sense of community. Like
Yeah.
that. Like my mentor was great. Me and his relationship. His name's Kenneth. Shout out to Kenneth.
Yeah.
but Kenneth was great. He was there for any question I had. He actually wrote a letter of recommendation for me.
Okay.
When I was pursuing my master's. So me and him had a great relationship, and I'll tell anybody that mentorship is probably one of the biggest reasons for my success.
Yeah. Okay. Was he? He also worked in data at the same time.
He was a data scientist.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny, when I was doing the boot camp, I didn't know anything about data engineering.
Yeah.
My plan was to be a data scientist, but as I moved along in my career, I realized that data engineering was more for me.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference?
So I would like to say that data scientists are like the quarterback, and data engineering are like the linemen. We do all the dirty work.
Yeah. Okay.
So I like to say that we just help productionize their analytical applications.
Yeah.
So
okay.
making sure that's running, making sure that's performant, making sure that it's fault resistant, things like that. So
when did you work out that you wanted to move that direction? Was that when you were on the job, or was that in the boot camp?
it was when I was on the job.
Okay.
So it wasn't until I was in my second position in tech, which was an analytics developer, that I realized that data engineering is more what I gravitate towards.
Okay.
Just the actual deploying of applications. I mean, don't get me wrong, data science work is great and it's important, but I just actually like making something that's tangible, people can use.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So are you in your third job out of boot camp now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Third.
And what are you doing now? Senior?
So I'm a senior data engineer.
Yeah, okay. And you're now, do you have a team that you lead, or?
Yeah, so I'm a team lead for a project that my company is currently working on. Can't talk too much about it.
Yeah,
But
of course.
I lead them. I'm the technical lead and acting Scrum Master.
That's massive.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mention I also have a Scrum.
The Scrum
certification.
Professional Scrum Master.
Yeah.
So that's like a massive jump, like from where you were before.
Right.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your career trajectory now? Like, so obviously we kind of started off talking about that benefits role, and there was kind of a ceiling there for you.
Right.
Whereas now you flipped into data. Like, where can you go in your career now, and where do you want to go?
Yeah. So the next career move would probably be towards a solution architect or cloud solution architect or even a software architect, where I would be more architecting solutions for different applications, but not actually implementing them.
Yeah.
I would help, oversee, but not be the one actually programming. It would be more of a managerial or leadership role.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be the next steps for me.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What advice would you have for somebody who wanted to follow in your footsteps? Somebody that would watch this and say, man, I want to do that too. What advice would you have for them?
I think it would start by just doing your research. I think, we all want to do something, but do we understand what it is that we want to do? So go on YouTube, maybe figure out, if you want to get into cybersecurity, do that. Or if you think data engineering is for you, look at what data engineers do. What skills do they need? What certifications they might want to have, things like that. And then after that, just really develop a plan, a concrete, actionable plan of how to get there.
Yeah.
As I told you before, for me, it was I need to save up money so I can actually commit myself to this boot camp.
Yeah.
So if you have those things in place, have your plan and just execute fearlessly too.
Yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, I had doubts that this would all work out. I was very, very concerned. But I think once I had that picture in my mind of what my life wanted to be like, I think that's what drove me.
Yeah. What would you tell people for how to deal with the doubts when they come up?
I think it's just looking at other success stories like me, going online, finding people who, may have not had the same exact background as you, but overcame those challenges and got to where they want to be. Even my mentor, he wasn't someone who said I wanted to be a data scientist. I think he was doing music.
Yeah.
And he kind of turned around. So that having his story and then finding other stories online really helped motivate me.
Yeah, for sure. what message would you have for somebody, like kind of more generally, that wanted to move into tech? What would you want to tell them?
I would tell them to do it. I think if you're thinking about it, it's already something you want to do. You just have to commit to it.
Yeah.
And I think you should obviously take the time and really figure out like what in tech you want to do. Like be specific.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they'll say, hey, I just want to get into tech with no real concept of what it means to do that or what it's like or what I need to do to be in that type of role. So I would just say commit to it fearlessly and believe that it can happen because I've done it.
Nice.
Yeah.
As we close out, I want to know, do you mentor people? Are you open for mentoring? So we are, I suppose, building a community of people who want to move into tech and are looking for people to get guidance from. Is that something you're open to doing?
Yeah, I've actually been, believe it or not, I applied to be a mentor at Springboard.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so they have open mentors for data engineering, and hopefully they get back to me.
Yeah.
But I'm actually interested in mentoring because I think more people should be in this space, especially people of color. We have so much we can contribute and help grow this space that I feel like we should be a part of the innovation.
That's what's up.
And
So how should people get in contact with you if they want to kind of ask you some questions or pick your brain about data science?
Sure. I mean, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's Leoman Momoh. And then you can find me on Instagram, King Kazim. I don't know if you're going to have my little...
we'll link to everything.
Yeah. But DM me any questions. I'm open. I'm always willing to answer whatever, because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there, and I want to help the next man up.
Yeah.
So
that's what's up. Bro, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure hearing about your story, and I'm looking forward to seeing where you take your career next.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.